Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome to a little channel update. Because frankly, I want to talk a little bit. I have some things that I want to say in your general direction. It has been a bit since I've done one of these, and a lot of stuff has been happening with me, and to some extent the channel schedule has gotten all weird because of it, and I don't necessarily feel like I have to explain, but I do feel like I want to explain. So yeah, I'm going to try to do that. I have tried to script this video, to write like a soft script for it a couple of times, and I'm having a really hard time with that initial cracking phase, you know, the bit where you're just sitting there staring at the blank Notepad++ window. So I'm trying this. I'm just going to talk. I'm going to try to say the things that I have to say, and either this will go okay and I'll just post this thing directly, or it will be a scattered rambling disaster, and in that case you're not even hearing this right now. But hopefully even that will help me figure out what the heck I'm trying to do here. So what's been going on with me in the, it's been like a year, right, since I last did one of these. Well, as many of you know, those of you who watched the last channel update or who watch very much of my stuff at all, or certainly those of you who follow me on Twitter, will know I have been busily transing my gender. Happy Pride, y'all. It turns out to be the sort of thing that can take up a lot of brain space. It's a remarkably active process, you know, a medically uncertain thing where you're going to the doctor a lot and you're dialing in medication levels, and yeah, and also, you know, the mental part of it where I'm sort of like fully rebuilding myself, like creating a new personhood, learning how to actually inhabit my body, which is not a thing that I feel like I had been doing previously on account of the profound depersonalization and everything. So that's been, you know, complicated and really good, but also it can be really fraught. Any kind of like deep mental process like that, you're confronting a lot of things inside of you, you're having to untangle a lot of things, and yeah, it's just a lot. It can be a lot. It can be in the way, and it is certainly not made any easier by the state of the world right now. Probably I don't have to tell you all what's going on, and also I won't, because I don't want to talk about it. But it's heavy, right? And it's especially heavy to be a queer person, and especially a trans person in the state that the world is in right now. And like, nobody's doing well here. I shouldn't say nobody. The vast majority of us are not doing well here. But yeah, it's been a little extra spicy to be a trans person the last few months, for sure. What a great time I chose to figure this all out, huh? It's really working out great for me. So yeah, that stuff weighs on me, and like I said, I don't want to get into it in any detail, but it can be difficult some days. There are some days for sure that I just spend a lot of time laying in bed after waking up, staring at the ceiling. And when I say the ceiling, of course, I mean my phone, but I am looking up. The ceiling is in my field of view. If something were happening on the ceiling, I would be aware of it. But mostly I'm, you know, doom scrolling on Twitter. Yeah. So that is another thing that is disruptive. I'm going somewhere with all of this, I promise you. So all of that is happening, and, you know, like, check in with the people in your life who are marginalized in any way and everything. Like, a lot of people are having a really rough go of things right now. But also on top of that, this is something I've wanted to talk about for a bit now because it is directly affecting the channel. I haven't really known how to, and I was kind of hoping to have more information by the time it came to this, but I still don't know anything. So here we go. Round about the middle of January, I developed what has turned out to be a weird chronic condition, illness. I don't know what to call it exactly because I still don't know what's going on. But basically the deal is I will sometimes become extremely nauseated, like just debilitatingly nauseated. And I guess it's two different degrees. It's not always debilitating. Sometimes it's just very, very unpleasant. But there are definitely times where all I can do is kind of like curl up into the fetal position on my bed and cry and hope that it will go away. And the episodes, I guess, these episodes, sometimes they're an hour, sometimes they're a couple of days. That has happened more than once. And they seem to be really arbitrary. Like there's not a consistent timing between them. I've been keeping a diary of like everything I eat, and there don't seem to be any activities that trigger them. It doesn't seem to be, there's no like particular trigger foods. It's just every once in a while my stomach is just like mad at life, which, like I said, to some degree I can totally get in the here and now. But that has been really disruptive. So you might have noticed that the schedule on the channel has gotten a little weird. There was a time when there was a real schedule. I was putting out like 20 videos a week pretty consistently, and I was really happy with that. It has not been like that all that much lately. Last week I did manage to get 20 videos out, and I was very pleased with that, but this week, as you probably know, if you're watching this, somewhat less, although also we're talking about longer, more effort-intensive videos than last week. I don't know. I'm not trying to directly compare the two. I'm just saying things got pretty inconsistent, and this is why. This is a lot of why. First of all, my mental state, trying to keep myself on my feet, has been tough, but also this mysterious illness that just sometimes knocks me out for 2 days, and sometimes it happens twice in a week, and sometimes I'll go 3 weeks without it and be basically fine. But yeah, and unfortunately, like I said, I was hoping to delay explaining what's going on until I had some information. Unfortunately, at this point, I've been to the doctor. I've had a lot of tests run. She took so much blood from me. It feels like looking at all the little vials, it feels like it must have been an unsafe amount of blood. But all the tests and all the blood, whatever, all the blood work done and everything, as far as she can tell, nothing is wrong. Everything came back totally normal and good, suggestive of me being in good health. And that is a very frustrating result to receive when you are definitely not in good health. So I am currently in the middle of trying to follow up with like a gastroenterologist and stuff. We're doing what we can, but internal stuff, especially sort of like vague digestive system stuff like this, can be very tricky to diagnose. And also, the American healthcare system is a goddamned nightmare. So, we're doing what we can on that. But yeah, disruptive. Disruptive is the word I want to use. And so I did just kind of want to talk about what's going on with that, because I know that some people have been wondering, and probably more people than have let me know are like, wondering if I'm okay. Am I dying? The answer is fucking I don't know. Maybe. If you can't tell, it's stressing me out a little bit. And of course, because of my anxiety disorder, I'm very good at stressing myself out to the point where I actually make myself nauseated, and then that feeds into the whole thing. And yeah, bad cluster of symptoms. Also, I guess as long as we're talking about disruptions and things that are complicating my general mental state, I did also have to move very suddenly a couple of months ago, which is not a thing I want to talk about in a ton of detail, but that also, there was a period I just went like completely dark for a week all of a sudden, and that was why living situation that I was in turned out to be a different thing than I had been assured that it was, is maybe a good way to put it. And I suddenly became aware that I was much less safe there than I had previously thought, and so I had to deal with it quickly. During the raging pandemic, like one of the highest periods of the pandemic so far, and also, the massive tide of public transphobia and really bad time to be trying to look for an apartment. Biting my tongue a little bit. But a good friend of mine basically rescued me, and I'm in a secure place now. I'm feeling much better. It's I am in a much better place. Don't worry, I'm not out on the street or anything. But that did happen, and it was disruptive. This is my big list of the top 5 things that have been disruptive to me in 2022. And I'm telling you all that stuff not for pity, but to help you contextualize, first of all, how weird stuff has been on the channel. And I'm really hoping to get more back toward something a little bit normal and predictable. But as long as this stuff with my digestive system is going on, I'm afraid it's going to be a little weird. It's going to be a little wiggly. Fingers crossed we can get back to like reasonably reliable 20 videos a week. That's really where I want to be. The weird thing about all of that is that at the same time all of that is happening, at the same time all of this legitimately really terrible stuff is going on, and I feel like it would be appropriate for me to be in a very dark place. Given that, I am also for sure the happiest I have ever been, like massively so, because transition is powerful magic, y'all. Self-determination is incredible. And I can't even, it almost feels wrong. Like sometimes I feel bad about how much happiness I am experiencing in a time that, state of the world wise is objectively very bad. Like things are bad and getting worse in a lot of ways, in a lot of places for a lot of people. But like, I have the ability to experience happiness, and it's actually happening. And I have love in my life, which is not, I was really worried when I started to transition in my mid to late 30s, perhaps, that I was basically just like done with romance. And that was actually a factor sort of like in the calculus of, am I going to come out? What am I going to do about this after I figured out what was going on with me? I really thought, okay, if you start transitioning in such a way that you are still in second puberty as you are approaching 40, and you look like you do, who is going to be interested, right? Like you are condemning yourself to being alone. Is that worth it? And in the end, yes. In the end, I decided, yes, it was worth it. Like I needed to be myself. I needed to be a person I could love, and I needed to see where the road went. But it turns out I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, and I am popular, maybe even with romantic partners. I don't know how to put this because it's not really been a thing in my life before, but like I have I have a lot of love in my life right now, and it was such a surprise, and it's been so wonderful, and it really feels like it kind of fell on me. Like I don't feel like I did anything. I feel like this is something that's happening to me, and it's really truly wonderful. And again, that juxtaposed against all of the other stuff and my weird, mysterious chronic illness and everything, it's been a lot of good and it's been a lot of bad, but more than anything, it has been a lot. Yeah, so that's where I'm at, and that's basically kind of the stuff that I wanted to get off my chest. Thank you for listening, I guess. Didn't really come up with an outro because, like I said, I don't have a script yet. But I think this was good. I think this was effectively what I wanted to say. So, I guess thank you all very much for watching. Let's see if I set this up correctly. Okay, the transition didn't play, but yeah, there we are. There's the credits image I wanted for this video. Yeah, that's what my deal is, and I'm really hoping, like I said, to get back to a more consistent schedule in the near future, especially now that like the moving has settled down. I'm actually set up in the new place, and everything is a lot more stable. But also, this whatever's going on with my health is very unstable. So I am going to do my best. That's what I am swearing to you. And I hope that I hope that the stuff I've been producing is entertaining to you, and I hope that you stick around for more stuff to come. There is cool stuff coming up. I have plans. I'm going to execute them just as fast as circumstances will allow. So, thank you all so much. I really could not. I do not know how I would have made it through the last year or so without the generosity of our Patreon producers here on the screen, but also just everybody supporting the channel in any way, even just by like watching some videos sometimes. If I had not had this income and I had suddenly lost my living situation like that, I don't know what I would have done. So yeah, like really, 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 really for real. Thank you all so much. I'm going to go to sleep for like 3 days, but if you come back after that, Wednesday, that's what I'm going to say. If you come back Wednesday, we'll have new stuff up. I'm going to try to get somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 videos out this week. We got the slipways going on. There's going to be more Outpost 2. Those episodes are taking forever to put together because I'm having to fail the missions a lot off camera. The game gets really difficult. And also new stuff. Also, there's going to be new stuff, and I'm so excited for some of it. So, come back for that real soon. And we'll see you then.